The nuns who held our hands for 40 years. Have you ever heard of a place called Sorok Island? It's a quiet island off Korea's southern coast, once called the Island of Exile for people suffering from Hansen's disease leprosy. And for over 40 years, it was home to two women who chose compassion over comfort. Marianne and Margaret were nurses from Austria, just in their 20s when they first arrived. Marianne in 1962, and Margaret a few years later. They didn't come for recognition. They didn't wear gloves. They touched wounds with bare hands, looked patients in the eye, and said, "You are not forgotten." They weren't just nurses, they were mothers to the orphaned, teachers to the abandoned, and friends to the shunned. They taught themselves Korean. They cooked porridge, baked cookies, and walked the village every afternoon, basket in hand. To the locals, they weren't foreigners. They were just halme, grandmothers. In a world full of cameras and applause, these women refused interviews, declined awards, and stayed in the background. When the Austrian government sent medals, the ambassador had to travel all the way to Sorok to hand it to them personally. And then one day they were gone. No farewell party, no spotlight, just a single letter. "We've grown old, and we must leave before we become a burden. Please forgive any pain we caused." They took nothing but the same worn-out bags they arrived with 43 years ago. And as their boat pulled away from the island, they wept for the island that became their home, and the people who became their family. Today, back in Austria, they live in a tiny room filled with Korean ornaments. Every night, they still dream of Sorokdo. At the door hangs a message written in Korean: "Be kind and humble." These two women remind us, true service doesn't need applause, and real love doesn't leave quietly, it leaves a legacy. Let's carry that legacy forward. Real kindness doesn't seek recognition. It simply gives, in silence, with love.